tamers. So today we're gonna look on Digimons that you should probably max out the skill. So I think it's not all Digimon, but if you can afford it, there's no harm in doing so. So first, let's look at what Digimon. So maybe we can look at this at per personality Digimon. So I'll just fix this one. So of course, if you have Omegamon or Brave, I definitely say that this is the first Digimon that you should max out because of the damage. I believe Omegamon is still the best damager here. All around, Flash Battle, Battle Park, even Underworld, and probably even in the Vortex and main story. So there's no doubt that this is the one that you should max out first. But if not, let's look at the others. So my next guess would actually be Gallantmon. Simply because Gallantmon is also a good damager. Not that much in Battle Park, but in Clash Battle, this one is really helpful. So another reason why you should level up the skill is because of the shield effect. So it increases as you go along. Yes. Let's see if there's any other. I also like Hercules Kabuteramon. I'm using him now in Brave Boost because of the sub skill. Is helpful, but unfortunately I don't think there's any additional effects if you level up the skill for Hercules Kabuteramon. It's just increasing in damage and lowers the cooldown, but in Battle Park it's not that significant, I believe. So I guess that's it for the Brave Digimons. Let's look at the Calm Digimons. This is the only one that I have, but I'd say I don't think I need to evolve or max out the skill of Dynasmon. So simply because the skills of Dynasmon I am not a fan of. So the main skill and sub skill, this one is just a buff for him. And the sub skill is increase all allies' power damage resistance by 30%. The downside of this one, the sub skill is just targeting one Digimon. So it doesn't really matter if you increase the damage or lower the cooldown because there's a high chance that you won't be able to use it at the beginning because you have Omegamon that can limit the damage to 1000, and you have Dynasmon who can actually evade this, so the damage won't really matter. You're gonna get the power damage resistance by 30% either way, level 1 or level 10 by 30%. So the only thing here is that it won't really affect the passive skill as well because Dynasmon's strength is in its counter attack, not in its main skill or sub skill. So for Dynasmon users, if you're low on upgrading the skills, you might want to consider just making him level 1 for now, maxing it out once you're full on skill tablets or stones. So let's just check out quick the other Digimons. This is actually still not a mega. So I guess that's pretty much it for the calm. There are just good damagers. My whole thought to this is that if it doesn't target more than 3, it's not worth leveling. So like this one is good because it's 175% damage to all enemies. Not that great damage in terms of percentage, but it's all enemies, and the cooldown is 80 seconds at level 7. So if it's at level 10, I'm not sure, maybe around 70, so that's quite fast, and you can really spend that a lot in Battle Park. Let's look at the others. This one is Calmon, Sakuyamon Calm. So it's pretty much the same. So the whole idea is if it has special effects other than the damage and cooldown, that's probably the best bet that you can get. So this one, it has a good effect, but the best thing that you can get here is the damage and the cooldown. So you can evade more damages or attacks. So let's move on to the next personality, Deft. So here, no doubt, Lilithmon is the best Deft Digimon that you can actually max out. Simply because of the main skill. So the main skill restores 71% of damage dealt to own HP. So it's like a life steal if you're familiar with other games. So this one at level 8 is 71%. If you're at level 10, this is actually 80%. So I think level 1 is 50%. So aside from you getting more damage, you can actually restore more HP significantly if you max this out. So Lilithmon is definitely the one to use or the one to upgrade if you have Deft tablets or skill stones. Fortunately, I'm level 8. I'm quite happy and excited to use Lilithmon again on Deft Battle Park, Deft Boost Battle Park. So let's look at the other Digimons. I don't have much Deft. So Ravemon is not really awesome in terms of effects and damage, and buff is really quite low. So I'm not really using Ravemon that much. Next, this I think is everyone's favorite, Platinum Numemon Deft. I wouldn't even dare. I think you'd max this out just because of your luck of getting Platinum Numemon every freaking time. Next. Not sure what this is. Piedmon. So I'm not I think there's no special effects here. Puppetmon. Nah. So basically for Def, it's Lilithmon. Let's look at the next personality, Tenacious. So here I have two candidates, but first let's go on the first one. So Imperial Dramon FM is the first one simply because of the main skill. Main skill is ignoring damage limit of Digimon such as Omegamon. So the idea is that the higher this is, the higher chances that you can one-hit Omegamon. I believe this is 520% at level 10. So if you max this out, you can just probably use this straight away and one-hit Omegamon, and you're probably 90% chance of winning already just by defeating Omegamon. As for the sub-skill, doesn't really matter, it's just lower cooldown. So yeah, if you have Imperial Dramon FM, max him out first if you have Tenacious skill stones. The next one is actually High Andromon. So High Andromon is good in terms of stats, defense, really good defensive support type, and has a good effect on main skill, but the leveling is actually more for the sub skill. So this one increase every time you level it up. So currently at level 4 it's 64%, but if you max this out at level 10 you're gonna get 80% def, which is really helpful I think in most personality boost battle part, simply because everyone, all the boosted Digimons already has high defense, and once you increase them by 80%, that's already a significant amount. Plus, the bonus for me here is that the main skill is actually targeting all Digimons and has 40% chance shock, but it's fixed regardless of the level, and increased block rate, so a really good def or defensive support Digimon. So I guess that's it for the Tenacious. I can't see any other Digimons that will probably benefit any skill level upgrades. So let's look for the other devoted or the other personality. So this is my only devoted Digimon. So so for this one, I think it's pretty much the same. It's gonna boil down to whatever Digimon you're using. Maybe if you have Ragalmon, it's also a nice idea because Ragalmon is a support, is somewhat an offensive support, especially during Brave Battle Boost. Oh, so this one deals damage while healing, though it stays or it's fixed at 25% regardless of the level, and you get restore HP for the main skill. So I guess if you level this up, faster cooldown and higher damage. But pretty much if for devoted, you're just gonna go for higher level just because of the cooldown, so you can heal faster and save the day with the heal. So that's pretty much it for the skill leveling. The idea is just look for Digimons that has more effects that are being affected by skill level up, like Litmon, more restore of HP and more damage, means more restoration of HP overall. Imperial Demon FM, more damage that can ignore Omegamon's limiter, and pretty much the other Digimons that I mentioned. So basically that's it. Let me know guys who you would max out first in the comments, and let me know if what Digimons you already maxed out. And that's it. See you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.